Deep in a quiet forest, where tall trees swayed gently with the wind and the sunlight danced across the leaves, there lived a young fox named Flick. Flick was not the fastest fox in the forest. He was not the strongest either. But Flick had something rare. He was curious. While other animals rushed through their days, Flick paused. He listened. He wondered. He looked at the sky and asked himself why it changed colors at sunset. He watched the river flow and wondered where it was going. Every little detail made his heart feel alive. To Flick, the world was full of questions. And questions, to him, were treasures. Every morning, before the sun fully rose, Flick stepped out of his small den and took a deep breath. The forest smelled fresh and new, like it was waiting to teach him something. Flick believed every day carried a lesson. You just had to be willing to notice it. As he walked through the forest, he imagined writing down everything he learned, even though his notebook was only in his mind. Flick wandered toward the river and noticed an old turtle resting quietly on a rock. The turtle moved slowly, almost as if time itself followed his pace. Flick stopped and watched. In that moment, he learned something important. Moving slowly didn't mean going nowhere. It meant seeing more. As Flick continued his walk, he looked up and saw birds gliding across the sky. They moved with confidence, even when the wind pushed against them. Flick realized they hadn't always flown perfectly. They had learned. They had practiced. And they had failed many times before succeeding. That thought stayed with him. Mistakes were not the end of learning. They were part of it. Later that day, Flick noticed something strange, a faint glow between the trees. Curiosity tugged at his heart. Step by step, he followed it deeper into the forest. The trees grew taller. The familiar sounds faded. The light grew dimmer. Suddenly, Flick stopped. He didn't recognize where he was. For the first time, curiosity felt heavy. His heart beat faster. Fear crept in. But Flick remembered what he had learned. He stayed still. He listened. He noticed the moss on the trees. He listened for the sound of the river. He trusted the lessons the forest had already given him. Slowly, carefully, Flick found his way back. When the forest opened up and the familiar path appeared, Flick felt something new. Confidence. That evening, as the sun dipped low, the animals gathered quietly. Without trying to impress anyone, Flick shared what he had learned. That curiosity was powerful. That listening mattered. That learning helped him find his way when he felt lost. The animals listened closely. From that day on, Flick became known as the curious fox. Not because he had all the answers, but because he never stopped asking. Young animals came to him with questions, and Flick always reminded them gently. You don't need to know everything. You just need the courage to learn. And so, in a forest filled with wonder, Flick continued his journey. Learning. Growing. Discovering. Because curiosity is not just about knowing more. It is about becoming more.
Small steps are easy to ignore. They feel too small to matter, too quiet to be important, too slow to change anything. And yet, they are the most powerful force in your life. Most people are waiting for a big moment, a big opportunity, a big breakthrough. They believe change must arrive loudly. They believe success must feel dramatic. But real change rarely announces itself. It begins quietly, almost invisibly, with one small decision. A decision to try, a decision to continue, a decision to take one step forward, even when the road feels long. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they underestimate small progress. They quit because results don't come fast enough. They quit because effort feels unrewarded. They quit because growth feels invisible. But invisible does not mean useless. Think about a seed buried in the ground. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. No movement, no proof, no reward. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Life is preparing itself.
If you dig up the seed too early, you destroy the process. That is what quitting does.
Small steps are the roots of success. They grow quietly. They grow patiently. They grow without applause.
And that is why they work. You don't need a massive plan to change your life.
You need a small action you can repeat. 1 page read instead of none. 1 minute practiced instead of avoided. One choice made instead of delayed. Small steps lower the fear. They don't overwhelm you. They don't demand perfection. They don't ask you to be someone else. They simply ask you to begin. And beginning is everything. Most people are stuck not because they don't know what to do, but because they think they need to do everything at once. That pressure paralyzes them. Small steps remove pressure. They make progress feel safe. You don't have to change your whole life today. You only have to move slightly forward. And when you do that, momentum begins. Momentum is not created by motivation. It is created by movement. Small movement leads to confidence. Confidence leads to consistency. Consistency leads to results. Big change is not created in one day. It is created daily. Small steps are powerful because they are repeatable. Anyone can take 1 step. Anyone can show up for a short time. Anyone can improve just a little. And when you repeat something long enough, it becomes part of who you are. That is when change becomes permanent. Big leaps feel exciting, but they are fragile. When expectations are too high, failure feels heavy.
Small steps are forgiving. If you miss a day, you can return. If you stumble, you can stand again.
You are still moving. Small steps teach patience. They teach resilience. They teach you to trust the process. And trusting the process is the hardest part of success.
Because progress is often silent. There will be days when you do the work and see nothing change.
Days when effort feels wasted. Days when doubt grows louder than belief. This is where most people stop. Not because they are weak, but because they are discouraged. But this is also where small steps matter most, because success often arrives after patience is tested. If you quit too early, you never see what consistency was building. Small steps train you to keep going even when results are invisible. They teach you to believe before proof appears. And belief changes everything. Steps don't just change your results, they change your identity. Each small promise you keep to yourself builds self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. When you show up consistently, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop saying, "I'm not disciplined," and start realizing, "I am someone who tries." That shift is powerful, because success is not about talent. It is about who you believe you are.
Small steps quietly shape that belief. They turn effort into habit, habit into discipline, discipline into freedom. And freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is being able to trust yourself. There will be moments when you want to stop, moments when progress feels too slow, moments when others seem far ahead, moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. In those moments, remember this: you are not behind, you are building, and building takes time. You don't see a house rise in one day. You don't see strength built in one workout. You don't see wisdom formed in one lesson. But step by step, brick by brick, day by day, something strong appears. Something lasting, something real. You don't need to be perfect to succeed. You need to be persistent. You don't need to move fast. You need to move forward. Even the smallest step taken consistently can carry you farther than motivation ever will. So today, don't ask yourself how to change everything. Ask yourself what small step you can take right now. One choice, one action, one moment of courage. Take it. Tomorrow, take it again. And one day, you will look back and realize the small steps you almost ignored created the life you once dreamed of. Small steps create big change. And you are already changing. Hey, listen to me. It's not easy, but it's possible. Remember the great achievers of the past. They failed many times but didn't give up. You too. Yes, you can be a great achiever if you persist long enough. I am Flick the Fox. I am achiever. I am a great person. I am a successful person. I am an achiever. All right, we are done with today's motivations. Let's enter the town. I want to buy some groceries. Where can I find a store around here?
This is a really busy city. A lot of people and cars. I am looking for my friend Flick. He is a beautiful fox. Please, did you see any fox around here?
All right, time to cross this road. Here we go, gotta be quick. Made it! That was fun! Going home, guys. I just got my groceries. Really tired and exhausted. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share.